The show that's being shot right here from the convention floor of TSP Game Plan 2024. And I am here with Thomas K.R. Stovall. Did I get the initials right? Okay, good. Hey, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Are you enjoying the conference?
I'm having a blast so far.
Yeah? Tell us about your business.
So I'm an investor. I run a financial education community called mindsettomoney.com. And we help really regular folks, career professionals, business owners to replace earned income with automated income.
Wow. Have you always been in finance?
I wouldn't even consider myself in finance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was able to, I've been an entrepreneur for a long time, since I was 19, full time. And I've been able to get a little bit of surplus through some of the work I do with experts. But I found myself looking for ways to invest. What do I do with the money? Because Uncle Sam is coming for his share.
Right.
He needs to do something. So I got educated about how to invest in ways that save taxes, things that are non-traditional, and I wanted to share that with others. So that's where Mindset's Money came from.
What is it that people, particularly in our community, don't understand about what you do?
I think that when I say I'm an investor, they assume that means stock market stuff. I'm not a stock market guy. I look for things that are more like a small business that is unsophisticated, it's simple. Maybe you can buy it for 10 or 20 grand. There's one virtual assistant somewhere who runs it, but it doesn't take my time, right?
Okay.
Somebody's got to do something, but I'm looking for things that produce money that I can kind of buy replacement income to begin to cover my monthly household expense without me needing to trade more time in order to do it. So it's non-traditional.
So do you have clients? I mean, how does that work?
I've got a membership community, and it's a few hundred people around the country that pay a few $100 up to a few $1,000 to basically get access to the master classes that we bring in. We bring in experts from around the country in finance, business, investment to share what they do. And then we also open up deal opportunities for people who want to actually take that knowledge that we're giving them about these non-traditional investment routes and then do something about it.
You said you've been an entrepreneur since you were 19.
Yes.
Was it always in this kind of space, or is this a new space? Or did you move into this space after a couple of other things?
Well,
how did you get in that space?
I've lived a few different lifetimes. So I've got an electrical engineering degree. I've never used it. I started my first business selling custom wheels and performance tires online from coast to coast. Did that all through college, graduated, went out to LA for about a year, and worked as an apprentice in a real estate private equity investment firm. Back to Chicago, and I actually created my own investment firm and was able to grow that to 7 figures in about 18 months.
Wow.
Lost it 4 years later, had to start back over at 30, and I created a microfeedback platform that's now patented, and grew that, started a membership network for black founders that grew to 6,000 people across 16 countries. And after I outgrew the technology space, I got into the online education space, and I've been able to help a number of experts who are very well known online to turn their expertise into income online through courses, memberships, but do it in a scalable way that doesn't require their time.
Right.
That's the thing for me. I want to be able to make money without sacrificing more time.
Right? I mean, hello, isn't that all of us? Because time is money.
Absolutely.
I don't think people get that connection. Like if you really broke it down, like what you're hourly, so you wouldn't be so free with it if you knew what it was worth. What kind of trends do you see coming for this year with regard to your business?
I think one of the biggest things is because of the nature of what's going on with the economy. People are tightening up, and the course creation space over the last couple years has really gone rampant. There's a lot of people who are experts and making a lot of money online, and now the community is saying, wait a minute, I think I need to understand a little bit more about who I'm spending money with. So this online education space that's kind of given me the surplus to go out and invest, I think it's tightening up a bit. And the folks who have depth of expertise truly, I think it's going to be a really great time for them. But we're going to see a lot of people who maybe are well known online and are great marketers, but won't necessarily be able to carry forward their business the same way that they did when people were just trying to figure out a way to make money.
Yeah.
People are getting a little bit more discerning now.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Where can people find you?
You can find me at mindsetsofmoney.com/go and onlineluminary.com.
Well, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate you sharing your knowledge and information with us. Enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for tuning in to another episode of Mind Your Business. Hello again, and welcome back to another episode of Mind Your Business. I'm your host, Renee Seiler. We're coming to you from the convention floor of TSP Game Plan 2024, and I am here with Erica Jordan Thomas.
Yes,
Hi.
hey.
How's the convention for you?
Oh my gosh, it's a family reunion.
Yeah?
You know, it's like a family reunion where you're learning, but you're also connecting. It's been a great time.
Have you been here before to TSP?
Yes, so
Okay.
this is either my third or fourth TSP larger type of event. Yeah.
Got you. Tell us about your business.
So my name is Dr. Erica Jordan Thomas. I'm CEO and founder of EJT Education Group, and we help educators, black educators, grow seven-figure education consulting businesses to become millionaires. So I'm a former teacher, former principal, and now help other educators get free through starting businesses.
Wow. And my daughter's a teacher, so I already have like a soft spot in my heart for teachers.
Yes.
What is it you do in terms of helping them to actually, are you helping them get out of the classroom or stay in the classroom and supplement?
Yeah, so my marketing message is not that I help people leave their jobs. Just from a moral and ethical standpoint, as someone who has been an educator and has been a principal, I do not feel morally aligned by saying I help people leave kids.
Yeah.
However, what I do say is that I help educators experience their fullest financial potential, and I don't believe that that's going to be at your job. And so we have some clients who still have their 9 to 5, they're still working in a school or school district. We have some clients who are full-time in their business. So I believe that transition decision is a very personal one. And I think the kind of belief or the way in which I like to open up, experiences for my clients is oftentimes in education, if we want to make more money, we're told this narrative that you have to be a principal or superintendent. When it's, well, you can also start a business.
Wow, right.
And you have skills that can help you start a business. You could be coaching teachers, you could be designing curriculum, you could be working with parents and students, and you could be getting paid, and not just getting paid, you could be getting paid your salary in a month or in a week or in a day.
Wow.
And so that's the work that I do, is helping educators identify what is their current zone of genius, given what they're already doing and how they're impacting kids and communities. And then I help them package that into a business so that way we can help accelerate your wealth while also expanding your impact.
And I feel like teaching is one of those unsung professions, sadly. Mm-hmm. We hear all the things that are going on in the classroom and cuts and this and that and the other.
Right.
So there really is a need for what you're doing.
Absolutely, because in this country, at the time of retirement, so working about 25 years, teachers on average make $65,000. So imagine working 25 years and your ending salary is $65,000. When in entrepreneurship, you can make $65,000 in a month, right? You don't have to wait 25 years to actually generate that type of income. And so that's why I'm really passionate around helping not just people, but I consider my people, as a former teacher, as a former principal, like I know the life of working in a school district, who's now a full-time entrepreneur running a seven-figure education consulting business. I know it's possible, and helping other educators do the same.
Yeah, when you're talking, I just told you my daughter's a teacher, so the whole time I'm like, oh, she needs to be doing that. What trends are you seeing happening this year in 2024 with regard to your business and just maybe teaching on the whole? Yeah,
this is a great question, because actually a week ago I had released for our community a 2024 market trends report of really thinking through, okay, this market in 2024 is different, right? And I intentionally use the word different because I don't necessarily mean impossible. I don't even want to use the word challenging. It's just different. And I think part of one of the pieces that I put in this report is like, this is a market where you have to lead with value. And so oftentimes so many people say, well, you just give the what and you reserve the how for, after they pay you. And actually, no, in this market, people are more skeptical than they have ever been before, because we're coming out of time where there were a lot of silver bullet businesses or pandemic businesses, people who were not qualified, who saw an easy way to make money, and they burned a lot of people. So now as a result, the market is very skeptical and buyers are more sophisticated. You can't actually afford as a business owner to only tell the what, because some people have Googled the what. They're now ready. I need you to prove that you're an expert, so you need to give me a little bit of appetizer of your methodology or your impact in order for me to feel comfortable spending my money with you. So that's one of the biggest trends that I'm seeing this year for sure.
What was it like for you when you decided I'm gonna be an entrepreneur? I mean, how was it scary? Was it what? Like,
oh my gosh, it was so scary. And what's fascinating is, so I started my business actually when I was a principal, and I then left the principalship. I went back to school full time, so I went to Harvard, got my doctorate, and there was a entrepreneurship class we were taking, and I remember telling a classmate, I was like, I feel so weird, like calling myself an entrepreneur, and she was like, don't you already have a business? And I was like, I know, but that's just not a word that I grew up with. And I'll tell you, there was a moment that completely shifted my perspective. And it's a little ironic because the person who shifted my perspective is speaking here. So I was watching a show on Netflix about the history of hip hop. And Master P was saying, he was sharing his story of how he was selling CDs out of the back of his car. And in that moment, I realized, I was like, oh, I have all these examples growing up culturally of entrepreneurship. We just didn't call it entrepreneurship.
Right.
So the girl in high school who was braiding my hair out of her house and you paid her a few dollars, she was an entrepreneur, right?
Absolutely.
Folks in college who were cutting hair out of their dorms were entrepreneurs. And I realized, oh, I was just using different language and the privilege in language because I grew up with hustling, turning a dollar out of 15 cents. That was the language I used. But we were entrepreneurs. And so for me, it was, yes, it was scary. But then when I realized, had that aha moment of like, wait a minute, I've seen this.
Yep.
This isn't new for me. That's when I started to actually embrace the journey.
I love it. Where can folks find you?
You can find me on Instagram. So that's where I hang out. I also hang out on Facebook. So if you're on Facebook, Erica Jordan-Thomas. If you're on Instagram, which is I spend most of my time, E_Jordan Thomas. Again, that's E_Jordan Thomas.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Appreciate
much.
the time
Yes.
and sharing that with
Absolutely.
us.
Thank you all.
And keep doing the good work.
Thank
Fighting
you.
the good fight.
Thank you. Thank you.
And thank you for joining us for another episode of Mind Your Business. Welcome back to another episode of Mind Your Business. I'm your host, Renee Seiler. We're coming to you from the convention floor at TSP Game Plan 2024. And I am here with Bethany Nonami.
Yes.
I got it right.
Yes, thank you.
How are you finding the convention?
I love it. I love the energy. I love being in the room with Black excellence. I love a community that our job is to build everybody up. And it's just amazing.
Yeah. Tell us about your business.
So I run a business that helps business owners, women-owned business owners, minority business owners get corporate contracts and government contracts. So we teach them how to own their worth and how to ask for their value that all these other companies are making so they can really have an impact, because when we do better, our communities do better and our world gets better.
How did you get started in that?
So I got started in my own business struggling. I was doing marketing, I was doing all the things, and sales weren't happening. And what I realized was I was afraid of asking for money. I was devaluing my genius, and I would always serve, but when it came to ask for money, I would be terrified. And there's all this trauma that we have, there's all these things that we've been conditioned to see, and our parents worked hard, went to work every day. So coming into entrepreneurism is a risk, and you might be a little crazy. So it's not something that you're taught that you're worthy and you ask for what you're worth and you value your time. So I started to learn how to sell. And then I started to learn that I was undervaluing my time. And then the more I realized it and got in communities like this, I realized we're all undervaluing ourselves. And if we knew what other people are charging and what other people are getting paid, and we work harder and we deliver better work, we would make way more money.
Do you think that's just women? Is that black women, women? Do you find the same sorts of challenges with men, black men specifically, since we're talking about our community?
Yes, so I think it is more prominent in the black community.
Okay.
And the other thing is many of us are first time something. First time going to college, first time having our own business. So we don't have a grandpa that had his own business and passed it down to the father. We don't have this knowledge in our inner circle and proximity to know to do better. So we're learning as we go, but if our eyes aren't open to what's possible, then what we're doing is what we think is possible, and that's it. And we don't even realize what the opportunity really is.
Yeah, money is a weird thing. I mean, for me, I'm a words person. Money is weird. I was never good at math and money, and I'm really not good at asking, like what you just said. I'm not good at, I know what I do. I know I'm good at what I do, but I don't know how to ask for that. So what's the one thing you tell women when they're looking to negotiate a contract that's important that they do?
So it's important that they understand that whatever their price is right now, they need to double it. And it's scary, but when you do that, you have to believe in your spirit and your heart and your soul that you're worth that. Yes. And that goes back deep.
That is deep.
And that's not work that's ever done. That's, okay, I'm charging 5, let me ask for 10. And it happens, and we're like, oh.
And then you look back on all the times you quoted 5, knowing you could have had 10.
The whole time. And then you grow again. And you say, okay, I'm getting better. I'm mastering my craft. My value, my knowledge, my expertise is better. Let me try 15. But if you don't believe it, then you can't get that. Because something will be off. You'll see, like, Bethany's cool, but then something's off. You don't know.
Right.
But we have to believe with 100% certainty that we're worthy of that.
So it sounds like you do a lot of that kind of work with your clients, that sort of...
I do. I do.
And tell me about trends in terms of what you're seeing for 2024. Anything that sticks out to you?
Yes, I think that we have to be okay to use automation, to use AI, because there's so many places, even in sales. I mean, we do a lot on LinkedIn. We use software that, remember DISC profiles? Did you ever take a DISC personality test?
No, I haven't.
So DISC profiles are, say, you're dominant, you're sensitive, it's basically like an old HR thing that we would take in sales all the time. So we use software that says Renee's DISC profile is intuitive, but my DISC profile is dominant. So I'm very logical, but you're very emotional. Right. So if I'm trying to sell to you and I'm saying numbers, and you're like, I don't get this. But then I know that you value relationships and you value connection. Then how I have a conversation with you is different, because what you value is just different than my value system. Yeah. So I have to adjust to what is natural for you. Right. And I think we have to realize that the way that we buy today is way different. 30 years ago, we'd look in the yellow pages, look for a person, or we call our neighbor and say, hey, who do you use for this thing? Now we have the internet, and buyers are doing research, and they're looking at your social media, and they're looking at reviews. They're looking way before they get on the phone with you. They don't have to call you to find out what you do. So our job when it comes to marketing our business is to educate them, is to add value. Not buy. How can I help them understand this is the right type of service provider? This is the wrong type of service provider. Then you start to build trust, and that's how we buy now.
Yeah, so true. How can people find you?
They can find me on LinkedIn, Bethany Nonami, and that's the best way to connect with me.
Are you not on Instagram?
Absolutely not.
Oh, no.
I don't take pictures of my food. My selfies are terrible. And LinkedIn is where my buyers are.
All right. LinkedIn. We're going to find you on LinkedIn. Bethany, thank you so much. Appreciate your time.
Absolutely.
And thank you for tuning in for another episode of Mind Your Business.
He took those 2 words, be someone, all the way to the White House. My assignment in life is to empower our young people to be someone. Get your head up, get your pants up, get your grades up. And the big one, never give up.
How did you get started in this? Was it just like, did you have a career before this, or how did this come
7 people were shot in a robbery in Queens, New York for $2,000. And I said to myself, bad things continue to happen when concerned people fail to give back. Bad things continue to happen when concerned people fail to take action. So I'm making boss moves, teaching young people to think it out, don't shoot it out, and to move with love, to put brains before bullets.
And you play chess, which I love that analogy, by the way, play chess, not checkers. Tell me a little bit about that and how that works with your curriculum and what you're teaching.
Well, the moves you make determine the road you take. I owe my life to a teacher because when I was 13 years old, I was in and out of foster homes and I was in a gang. And I was making some bad decisions. And he said, listen, I'm going to teach you how to think for yourself. I said, what do you mean? He said, I'm going to teach you chess. I said, no, I'm a checker guru. He said, checkers, you're using half of the board. He said, chess, you're using every single square on the board. He said, checkers is all men. He said, chess, the female, is the most powerful piece on the board. I said, let's get on with the classes.
So I feel like playing chess helps people think analytically. Would you agree with that?
Yes, it helps you pause, ponder, pivot, pray, proceed, then you can prosper. Don't do the first thing that pops in your head. Your first crack could be a whack and you can't take it back, so think before you act.
Yeah, I love it. Tell me about what you plan for 2024.
2024, I'm going to reach out to at least 100,000 students and show them how to wake up winning and how to make their next move their best move.
And where can people find you?
BeSomeone.org. You can be someone, be someone. Let me hear you say yeah.
And what about your socials? Are you on social media at all?
I'm on Instagram, Be Someone Online. I'm on Facebook, Orange Checkmate Hudson. The C's for Checkmate. Checkmate means you win, and it's not over until you win.
I love it. Lauren, thank you so much. And thank you for the work you do. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for this opportunity.
And thank you for tuning in for another episode of Mind Your Business. See you next time. Welcome back to another episode of Mind Your Business. I'm your host, Renee Seiler. This is the show that's being shot right here from the convention floor at TSP Game Plan 2024. And I'm here with Allison Moore. Look at that smile. Look at that face of more comedy, right?
More laughing.
More laughing.
Yep,
I'm sorry.
It's all right. We in this together. That just means I need to work a little harder so that we can get it next time. So it's more laughing.
Right.
And shout out to my orthodontist for the smile.
Real, and shout out to you for paying for it, because he wouldn't do the work for free.
No, he did. I got to shout him out.
Allison, tell me about your business.
So I'm a stand-up comedian and producer, the CEO, the chief comedian, executive comedian. Okay, the joke didn't land. Of the More Laughing Network. So what we do is we produce comedic content. We have a talk show, we have a work podcast, we have the More Laughing in the Morning show on TV, we have the More Laughing at Work. The More Laughing Network is all about bringing clean, inspiring, upbeat joy and happiness to the environment. We're transforming lives of professionals. I think the vision for it is to be the edutainment that's not corny.
Yeah. Do people think of, when they think clean, they think corny?
Yeah, they do. And they come and confess themselves to me afterwards. People tell me still, in the good year of 2024, you know, I didn't think it's going to be funny because you was a woman, but you funny. Or somebody else says, you know, I don't think it's going to be funny because you don't cuss. And I'm like, well, I do curse. I just don't curse on stage.
Right.
but I got a sugar honey iced tea in my spirit. But I don't let it come out.
How did you get started?
I tell people all the time, comedy found me. I didn't find it. Like, this is my personality, and I didn't grow up on comedy. And so when I'm gonna shock you. Okay. You ready?
We're ready.
I'm dark skinned. I know. I know. But growing up in the South, I used to get teased, right? So my own self-stuff was thinking that comedy would get you teased. Like, I grew up in the 90s where it was Def Comedy Jams, and they was ripping on the audience. I was like, oh, no, I live in the hood. I'm good. I don't never need to go to a comedy show. So I didn't go to my first comedy show until I was 31.
Oh, wow.
I was like, oh, this is wow, this is funny. Like, I was one of those people who were like, I don't do comedy. Comedians are mean. I don't go to comedy clubs. But I always had this personality where people be like, Allison, can you talk? Can you speak? Can you host? I did not know it was something that majority of the world didn't want to do.
Wow.
So one day, my friend and I, we did a fundraiser in our local town for like homeless community, for orphans, and we gave back. I emceed the whole night, and then we hired a comedian. That comedian said, give it up for Allison. She's been a comedian all night. And I'm like, I'm in human resources. I had just graduated. I think I'm going to, my trajectory is to be the director of someone's company one day. And I'm like, can you get paid? And it was like this whole room of family and friends was like, yeah, you big dummy. We've been laughing at you your whole life.
Wow.
And that's when I was like, oh, y'all was laughing with me, not at me. And it began a journey, and I realized I bring laughter. See, every time I'm with people, we're laughing, but I didn't know that. I'm like, what y'all was doing when I was here? I didn't know I brought it. So it's been a journey.
Was it something that caught you by surprise?
Yes. What caught me by surprise was how natural it came to me. What caught me by surprise, I always felt like I cheated. I always, I'm like, I only been doing this for 2 years. Only been doing this for 4 years. Like, I felt guilty that I could do something that people were like, I would die. I was like, I got to feed these kids. So
right, exactly.
Turns out that when I said these 3 things made people laugh, let's do it again. But
Wow.
It did catch me by surprise that could be my career. And now as an entrepreneur, recognizing that I can create the life that I want using something that was naturally given to me and that I could feel good about because I appreciate making people laugh.
Yeah.
So that was good.
What are you anticipating for 2024 for you?
For 2024, I am putting my comedy special is coming out this month. Well, February is Black History Month because
Yay.
the name of it is Black Card.
Okay.
So it's a 1-hour special about my experience with my Black Card. But it's not just for Black people. It's also for the allies. Come to the front, allies, because we need y'all to do a little bit more than have a march and a sign. We need some jobs. We need some funding.
Right, okay.
We need some money. So, it's this conversation of inclusivity, but, if you do come, allies, be quiet now. You don't get a black card. You get a red cup, though. I got you. I'm going to give you all of the instructions. So we have the comedy specials coming out in February, and then the More Laughing in the Morning show. That's our morning talk show that's going to be on first in our Virginia network on Sky 4 TV.
Yep.
Starting April 1st. So I'm really excited about waking up with people, getting them energized, some positivity, wellness through laughter, a little bit of financial. I got this comedy financial sketch, and just really syndicating that show after that and just growing.
I love it.
Thank you.
Congratulations on all the good stuff, and good luck to you. Enjoy the rest of the conference, and thanks for taking some time with us.
Thank
you.
you.
Before we go, where can people find you?
Okay, thank you. So people can find, the More Laughing Network, okay? So we can start there. If you go to morelaughing.network.com.
And that's MOOR.
It's all right, y'all. So
I messed it up.
I was married, and so that's where the more came from. But I got divorced, so I had to cut a no. Tell me if you cut. So it's MORE Network, morelaughing.network.com. So the morelaughing.network.com, you can find our More Laughing for Kids, More Laughing in the Morning show, More Laughing at Work podcast, More Laughing at Work. Just more laughing. And then Allison, the comedian, on our social medias. I'm here. I'm outside. Let me make you laugh.
Thank you so much. And thanks for your time and good luck this year.
Thank you, TSP.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Mind Your Business. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Mind Your Business. I'm your host, Renee Seiler, coming to you from the convention floor at TSP Game Plan 2024, and I'm here with Paris Brookins. Hi.
Hello. So
How's the
happy to be here.
conference for you?
This conference is amazing. I am energized every single time to be around all this Black excellence.
Right.
It's inspiring, and honestly, I was a little bit down when I came, just feeling the pressures of entrepreneurship and trying to push to the next level. But I'm so glad I came because, from Mastermind Day to, I'm just hearing everything that I need to see. On the wall it says, do not quit. I was like, they talking to me. Do not quit, so keep pushing.
Do not quit.
Yeah.
What is your business? Tell us about it.
Oh, sure. So I'm the founder and CEO of Posh Getaways by Paris, and we help travel enthusiasts celebrate special occasions in posh destinations without the headaches of organizing group travel.
Oh, I can't stand trying to organize my own travel. So if I come to you, you're going to take care of everything?
I take that all off of your shoulders, trying to get your group, get those payment plans, rally the troops. We do all that for you.
Wow. How did you get involved in that?
You know what? It's the darndest thing. I never thought I would be an entrepreneur. I truly fell into it. I've always was the coordinator, the planner of events and things, so it became natural. And believe it or not, I was on maternity leave, right? And I thought I had all this free time. And so I started coordinating, travel while I was on maternity leave, and it just took off and never stopped.
How long ago was that?
That was 7 years ago.
Oh, wow.
That was 7 years ago.
And what were you doing before this?
Public health. So public health advisor.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. How did your business do during the pandemic?
Oh my goodness. Being a part of the travel industry during the pandemic, it was scary.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't make it, and I'm very grateful that we did. It was tough because a lot of things, truly, as you guys know, the world shut down. So I had a lot of groups traveling. I actually had a honeymoon group. Several big groups that were canceled. So people either cancel or they reschedule. And that's why I say a lot of people didn't make it to stay, but we kept pushing. So a lot of my groups hung in there or they rescheduled. And so, believe it or not, I actually had growth during the pandemic.
Wow, really?
I did, because I think people were tired of being at home.
Yeah.
And there was this attitude of, well, I'm just going to live my life. And so those people travel, and so we just did our job to educate, make sure they had their COVID tests, and make sure that we were encouraging to travel safely and in safe places.
What kind of trends do you see or have you seen since you've been doing this over the last 7 years? What have you seen?
Wow, trends. So I think, one trend I see is that women travel more than men. So because I'm a group traveler, I have a lot of women groups that got their girls trips that they're bringing, or it's a couple, right? It's a couple's trip, but it's usually the women that are bringing the men. I don't have men. Men don't just travel. I don't know, or maybe they don't maybe they just do it themselves. They don't have a schedule.
It doesn't sort of feel like the nature of female relationships, though. We're like more, let's all get together and we do something. And you don't really see, I guess, maybe guys might do like a golf trip or something like that, but it doesn't seem like they're like, hey, let's go to an island together.
Right. Or, I want to give you guys some ATVs to ride. We can make it fun for the fellas. We can do a cigar night, but that's a market that I just don't have. So my base is really mostly Black women, professional women, and listen, they celebrating every year, 40th, 50th, they're celebrating, or they just getting their crew together to reunite.
I was talking to somebody else about travel and Black women, and one of the things that she said she was seeing a lot of was older women, over 60, retired, whatever, and they're like, I'm gonna go live my life. Are you seeing that as well?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Again, it's still the women. It is the single women with their friends, and they're very quick to commit to it, and they trust us. They will trust the professionals. Let us do our jobs. We study, we research the place. I'm going to create an amazing itinerary for you if you allow me to. But I would say I'm starting to see younger millennials also that are traveling, and I think people are doing it for the gram, right? They want the pictures on the beach. They want, like we do a Greece trip every year. They want the flying dress. They want to do it for the gram. It is younger people. I'm seeing travel more too.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Paris. Where can people find you?
Sure. So you can find me. My social is poshgetawaysbyparis.com. So that's our website. We're on IG, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter as @PoshGetaways.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, and have a
Sure.
good rest of the convention.
Thank you so much for having me.
And thank you for tuning in for another episode of Mind Your Business. Oh, no.
No.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Mind Your Business. I'm your host, Renee Seiler, coming to you live from the convention floor at TSP Game Plan 2024. And I'm here with, she's affectionately known as Coach Cass. Hi.
Hey, Renee.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Oh, we see you so fly. I see you.
Got my electric on.
I see you.
Thank
How you
you.
liking the convention?
Oh, it is absolutely life-changing.
Yeah.
So Lamar, during the last session, called me up to share my numbers, sis. And I'd never looked at it like that.
Yeah.
Since joining TSP, my business grew 139%.
What?
Girl.
What?
Girl.
Tell us about your business.
Oh, so I'm a love coach for professional single women. So think about that successful single woman that has everything but a man. I help her love herself, choose and vet love, and then not self-sabotage it, thrive in love.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so if your business increased by, what'd you say, 139?
139%.
What does that say about the market then?
Wow.
Yeah.
So love is something that so many don't want to talk about, but it's the very thing they think about every single day, right? When we're building a business alongside a partner, someone who lifts you up, you hear it very often on stage, and that's why I love being here, is because they celebrate great relationships and marriage, and it's something that when you're married and tethered to the right person, your business triples, your health increases, your wealth increases, like literally your happiness increases. And for me, I'm just seeking to bring a message to the world that it's okay to put your love on top. When love is at the base, everything else falls in place.
Do you think that people are, like, I heard somebody say a couple days ago, they said she was unapologetic. And she said, I want a partner.
Yeah.
Are people not that free
No,
with that?
not everybody.
Like, is that an
No.
embarrassing thing to say?
Yes, it's something in secret, right? Because then something's wrong with me. Maybe I'm broken. Maybe I'm not enough. Maybe no one wants me, right? Maybe I'm undesirable. Maybe I'm disposed of. There's so many self-limiting beliefs when it comes to love. It's not something that's an easy ROI. With business, it's like, I do these things, I can make this money. With love, there still has to be a give and take here. Someone also has to choose me. I believe, women do the choosing, but for us to face ourselves in the mirror and say, this is something that I desire, even though I've been hurt in the past, even though I might have gone through a divorce, even though I may have never been in a great relationship, that is still possible. It's really hard to face.
Do you, and we hear this a lot, we see a lot of black women.
Yes.
Many degrees, but not a partner. What do you say to that? Do you teach women to love themselves first and
Yes.
then the other will come, or what do you say?
Yeah, so here's the thing. So often we hide behind our work, right? Like, I'm just going to over busy my schedule so I don't have to think about not having a partner. right? So if I fall asleep with my laptop, I don't have to think about, wow, there's no one laying next to me, no one to rub my feet. I'm gonna fill up my schedule with my girlfriends and my girls' trips because, you know, right now I don't have those vacations. So I teach women to get real with what they desire and that it's possible. So yes, it is a conversation with how are you loving yourself first, because I hear often, well, Coach Cass, I'm too busy for love. But if you died tomorrow, is that all that you want? Work?
Wow.
You know, like if we look back on your life, where is the love? I want you to have a full life. And yes, you can have a full life without a man. A man is not the only plan. But at the end of the day, when you're in a great relationship, it is sweeter on that side.
How did you get started?
Oh my goodness. Girl,
How much time we got?
Girl, so once upon a time, I was dating a guy that I thought was the one. Dated for 2 years, and I found out he was married. My
What?
whole heart shattered. I walked away from that relationship, the good Christian woman that I am.
Wow.
And I kept dating the wrong guy after the wrong guy after the wrong guy. My defining moment came when I got maybe my 29th wedding invitation. Yeah, girl. You ever felt like everybody was getting married?
What?
Right? Even Toothless Willie down the street. It's like, sis, I'm cute, you're cute. Why is this not working for me? So that's when I decided to become a student of love. So I went to marriage conferences as a single woman. I interviewed successful women who were successful in business and in love because I'm Jamaican and my mother always said, study a book, love will come. I'm like, wait, why is every woman in my family single? This don't work. So I literally had to start listening to the right folks. And I attracted my amazing husband, Andy Henriquez. And what's so beautiful is that we have a beautiful baby girl. And when I looked out at the landscape of just professional women, I just saw that they were either so focused on business, the glue of their family, answering the call for everybody else, that they kept putting love on the back burner saying it'll come and it ain't coming. Or they're in the closet praying for their Boaz, this knight in shining armor, but they don't leave their house. So it's like literally, this is how I created a space for successful women, a safe space to be able to talk about what's really bothering them and how to support them in their love journey. Because just getting the guy isn't enough. How do you really thrive in an amazing relationship?
Oh my gosh. How can that, wow, I could talk to you for a long, long time. How do people find you?
Oh, so I'm at Inspire Many on Instagram, wantedwoman.com. I believe that every woman is wanted. Woman achieving new triumphs every day.
Oh, you're making me, oh gosh, that feels so wonderful. Thank you,
Yes.
Coach Cass.
Thank
Really
you,
appreciate
Renee.
the time.
Thank you
And
for
thank
having
you
me.
for tuning in to another episode of Mind Your Business. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Mind Your Business, the show that is shot right here from the conference floor at TSP Game Plan 2024. I'm here with Candace Janae.
Yes.
Hi, how are you?
I am so good. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Are you having a good time here?
I am. I always love coming to TSP events because you meet so many incredible people.
Tell us about your business.
Yes, so I'm Candace Janae. I am a digital marketing and automation strategist and business coach, and I run a business called Epic Fab Girl, where we help Christian women entrepreneurs scale their service-based businesses to 6 figures and beyond through marketing, as speakers, coaches, and service providers.
You know what I heard that stuck out there? Because I'm hearing a lot, but about automation and processes. That's a big thing
That's my
these
thing.
days. Really?
Yes.
Tell us how you got into that.
So I got into, so when I actually studied mechanical engineering in undergrad, and I landed a job for Accenture in 2014, worked in corporate for 3 years, and I did digital marketing technology consulting, so the tech piece of digital marketing. So that's kind of where I learned the power of automation, and I literally was on a team that was completely dedicated to automation and business.
Wow.
So my mind was exposed to this years before I started actually implementing it in business. So I just kind of grew a love for processes and just automating things from a customer experience perspective. So that's what got me into automation, and then in my business I use it all the time. So yeah.
What do you think people don't understand about automation?
I think a lot of people don't understand that it's not as complex as you think it is, and that automation should be built around human behavior. So when you automate things, like, you can tell when something feels like a bot, like when you're thinking of like a mini chat messenger type of thing. Sometimes it's like, oh, you're gonna reach out to someone and then you're gonna follow up 2 hours later. That's not really human behavior. Instead, if you reach out to someone, they don't respond, follow up maybe a day later or 12 hours later and not 30 minutes later, right? Because it's like, in our brains, if I reach out to someone and they don't reach back, you might reach out like the next day, as opposed to being like, hey, I didn't hear from you 30 minutes later, let me be like, what's up? Like, it's weird. So I think automation should be really designed to like mimic human behavior.
Did what you, it sounds like what you did in the corporate space dovetailed perfectly into what you're doing now.
Yeah, it did, but it didn't. So one of the things that I always say is, like, I got exposed to the world of automation and marketing, but you know how in a corporate position you have a role and a title, but it doesn't really match what you do on the job all the time? So one of the things I leveraged when I was in my corporate position was I leveraged the training and e-learning budget. So every corporation has budget and so because they thought, oh, her role is digital marketing tech, even though I was in the tech side and platforms and software side of it, I started learning about Facebook ads. I started learning about, and I would do it by way of finding online courses and getting the company to pay for it. So that's the piece that really helped me leverage kind of all the expertise I know now about email marketing, SEO, all of the digital marketing space, because someone approving my stuff thought that's what I did, but really it's what I leverage it for what I wanted to do.
If someone came to you and said, hey, I'm interested, I'm getting started in my business, what's the most important app you would have them use?
I would say the most important thing is to have an email marketing platform. So I personally use ConvertKit. I know within TSP there's the Catalyst platform that you have. Build it for where you're about. Catalyst, which is like, you're not thinking small, think big about your business. And so an email marketing platform is important because that's one of the best ways to connect with an audience. And a lot of email marketing platforms have a CRM or customer relationship manager mixed in. So a good CRM and email marketing platform will get every business where they need to be. Yeah.
I started years ago. I was a broadcaster, but then as a blogger, and people had been talking about email list. Do you know I still don't have? I know.
That's the number one thing I think about. Like, okay, so back in the day, right, before cell phones, right, like you had to write someone's number down on your hand or on a piece of paper, and that was the one connection. We should think about meeting people online like that, right? Because it's like, just because they see you on social media, you may never see them ever again. Yeah. So get their email address so you can talk to them. So, as a person that creates content and I get a lot of viral content, but if someone sees my viral content one time, there's no guarantee they're going to see something else every single day. So I think about email lists as a place to make that exchange so that you can actually follow up and connect with them. And then, it's like back in the day, if you got someone's number, you're not going to immediately ask them on a date. But email marketing is like, oh, I get to know this person a little bit, and then maybe 3 months later I can ask them for a date, and they might say yes. So that's how I think about email marketing.
Don't you worry, I'm gonna find you and corner you and find out what I need to be doing.
Yes,
okay?
I love it.
Candace, today, thank you so much.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it, and good luck in 2024.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Mind Your Business. Welcome back to another episode of Mind Your Business, the show that's being shot right here from the conference floor at Traffic Sales and Profit Game Plan 2024. And I'm here with Andy Enriquez. Hi.
Hey, Renee. How you doing? I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, good to see you. And you are Coach Cass's better half,
Yes,
right?
I am.
Okay, that's not a
Cass's
secret,
better
is
half.
it?
No, it's not a secret at all. We this October will be our 10-year wedding anniversary.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How are you finding the conference?
Oh, it's been amazing. Between Don Peoples, the gems that's being dropped, and to think that we're only like a day and a half in, and they haven't seen the magic. I'm taking the stage tomorrow, so I'm excited. I'm ready to go.
Tell us about your business.
Well, fantastic. Yeah, I'm a business storytelling coach, so I work specifically with entrepreneurs, speakers, and coaches that are wanting to get the attention of their customers and their clients, and they're not quite sure how to do it. I show them how to craft really powerful, compelling stories so that they could get the attention of their ideal customer and client, create a genuine connection with them, and then introduce their products and services.
Yeah, because it seems like nowadays people are like, sell, sell, sell.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you're more focusing on, let's build a relationship
Let's
first.
build a relationship and an actual connection.
How did you get started in that?
You know, it's so crazy. The furthest thing away from being a master storyteller, I actually used to be a CPA. I was working for one of the big 4 public accounting firms.
Wow.
And basically had done everything my Caribbean parents told me to do. Go to school, get a good education, get a good job. I got a master's degree, corporate accounting. I got my CPA license. I landed a job with a big 4 accounting firm, and I was miserable, Renee, miserable. And I'm waking up every day and I'm like, there's gotta be more than this. And finally, I took a big leap of faith and I left my corporate job and really didn't know what I was gonna do next, but eventually I discovered that my passion was speaking and really supporting people. So I went on a journey of like personal development and getting trained by one of the top 5 speakers on the planet, a gentleman by the name of Les Brown.
Yes, of course.
And I've been blessed and fortunate. I've spoken for companies like Bacardi, Office Depot, Pratt & Whitney, Accenture, Google, and here at TSP Game Plan, baby.
It seems odd to go from because I think of people as like a CPA seems, just like what you said, the furthest thing from
Furthest
what you're doing.
thing.
What are the skill sets that are in common?
Yeah, I tell you what's beautiful, right? I realize that there's nothing ever really wasted. When you look at it, you're like, wait a second, this guy was a CPA, very analytical, now he's a speaker, he's got to connect. But what I realize is my analytical mindset allows me to bring frameworks to what I actually teach and do now, right? So the fact that I've got this analytical accounting brain allows me to break down the framework so people understand how do I tell a story. Like, Andy, it's great you can tell a story, but how can I tell a story?
Wow.
Well, because of the way my brain thinks, it's like, okay, here's my framework. We're going to find your story. We're going to look at challenges, transitions, defining moments.
Wow.
And then when we're structuring your story, we're going to make sure you have universal themes. And they're like, how do you break all this down? That's where the accounting background kicked in, was building out frameworks, being able to look at something, deconstruct it, and actually build a process for it so it doesn't feel magical, but that could actually show people how to be able to craft and put their stories together.
Where are you on the authenticity scale? Because I've always believed that, like, you don't have to be the best speaker, but if you are you and you tell your story.
100%. So one of the things that we are really, really intentional about, we say the shortest distance between you, your customers, and your clients is a well-told story. However, the story has to be a story that you're connected to. Because if you're not connected to the things that you're saying, neither will the audience be. One of my mentors used to tell me a long time ago, Renee, he said, who you are behind the words are far more important than the words themselves.
100%.
So you can be saying all the right things, but if you're not emotionally connected to what you're saying, or you don't believe in what you're saying, then it's going to be, the audience is going to say something's not right. They can't put their finger on it, and that's going to create a disconnect. So I'd rather somebody not be super polished and everything, but be fully authentic and show up as who they truly are, because that's what's going to allow them to attract the people who are their assignment.
How did you do during the pandemic when the world shut down? What was that like for you?
You know what's interesting? Contrary to what most people believe, in my industry of personal development, our business actually grew. And I think the reason why was because we were doing everything live and in person, and then when COVID happened, we had to pivot from live event to virtual, and really, I think we had a captive audience. Like, people had nothing to do.
Right.
As a matter of fact, I would venture to say that most people who are in the coaching industry, service-based industry, actually saw their business slightly contract after COVID, because COVID superficially grew most people's businesses. Why? We had a captive audience.
Yeah.
So when we were doing virtual events, webinars, summits, challenges, guess what? People were at? They were at home. They were showing up, right? There was no distractions and so forth.
Right.
And then now, there's all these distractions again, and so we had to figure it out. So it's actually counterintuitive, but now we're having to make new adjustments because people are back to their old regular routines.
Got it. How can people find you?
Yeah, so they can find me. I'm on Instagram at Show Up For Your Life, or anywhere else, Andy Enriquez.
Love it. Thank you so much for your time, and thanks for sharing your nuggets with us. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Renee.
And
Thanks
good
for
luck
having me.
this year in 2024.
I appreciate it. Same to you.
And thank you for tuning in to another episode of Mind Your Business.